Okay guys, here are 4 groups and each of them have 2 Major Arcana cards plus a Major Arcana stone. And this is to give you guys more insight into the Major Arcana cards and how they're affecting you today, how you're going about things today. And this also will be part of the symbolism as well. So if you haven't started watching the symbolism in the Major Arcana cards, go and watch that, because that's part of either the bundle, or if you are a student of Master the Tarot Card Meanings, it's there as well. And some of those videos are made public. So how can the Major Arcana cards help us? Because some people that are into the tarot are only interested in the Major Arcana cards. They're not interested even in the Minor Arcana cards. Why is that? Why are the Major Arcana cards so significant? The symbolism is very strong, especially in the Rider-Waite deck. That's the one we're using now. There are obviously decks that haven't got much symbolism, but the Major Arcana cards are meant to be like what you're influenced under to teach you something very important. So kind of like this, the hero's journey. So what is going on in your life now that is teaching you something? What is like a soul lesson that's going on in your life now? So you can meditate on it, you can pause the video, and 1, 2, 3 or 4, and once you picked a number you can press play. For extra information, I'm going to use the runes, and that is to clarify things if anything comes up. So number 1, let's look at the cards first. So you got the Devil card with Justice. So that can mean that you are now starting to see through a very negative pattern in your life. Perhaps it is being enslaved to something. It could be a person that has a lot of power over you, or it could be a behavior or like a bad habit that you can't seem to shake. It can also be any kind of addictions as well. Justice is when you are starting to see through people's manipulations. You are also seeing your own behavior and how things are connected, and you're seeing it very clearly. I'm interested to see what this rune is. It's Judgment. So Judgment is a big shake-up in your life, a wake-up call. Okay, so you possibly now have a very strong sense of duty, what you have to do the way forward, and it's connected also, I feel, to your divine purpose in some way. Let's cast the runes. So this will give us some more answers. Okay, so it could be lack of morale. This, from my perspective, this is actually Otala reversed. And when it shows up, it could be the lack of morale in someone's behavior. Someone could be very acting completely, very strange behavior, basically. And you could also be actually in an environment that's supposed to be very nurturing and loving, but then it could be an element that is very abusive, actually. But there is a breakthrough. So Otala here speaks of the breakthrough. So now you see something. You see through this shadow that whatever is going on has cast over this whole situation, basically. And I paused the recording and I laid out some more cards, because I want to do the Celtic Cross per reading as well. And what the card showed up when I did lay it out, no, I read because I know where the position is. Sometimes I just go through them like this. This to me means someone you worked extremely hard. You've most likely been very ambitious in your life, but there's been some issues with trust and being able to trust other people with delegation and letting people take their share of responsibility. And there has been a block in feelings as well. So emotions have been blocked. There are no cup cards here. And when there are no cup cards, then it could mean that basically that it's hard for you to access your own emotions. So you could have been going on autopilot. But now there are people in your life, I feel, that have a very strong positive healing effect on you. And this will actually teach you balance, and it will teach you to relax more. And ultimately, I feel like this will be a lesson for you to enjoy life more and to have much more connection to your feelings and to actually feel deeply your own emotions. And that is going to be a strong healing journey. So for some of you, you could have been very judgmental of yourself, and that could have been driving you almost like having someone, whipping you through life, But this lesson that is coming about now is actually there to teach you to enjoy life more. And for some of you, you can even use your ambition to turn a very enjoyable hobby into a career. And this is what I'm talking about with divine timing. So this could be part of your divine timing, because our divine timing is something that we're incredibly happy about and passionate about. Okay, let's do group 2. Okay, so you get the Lovers with Temperance. So that could mean you are falling in love with someone who's your opposite, but this is an opposite attract, making each other better, fulfilling each other, with the Empress. So it could mean a very abundant relationship that brings out the best qualities in both of you. That is like your own heaven on earth. So this is a relationship that gives you heaven on earth. It gives you peace of mind. You have a strong guardian angel as well. So you can see there's a strong angelic connection. So this can actually also speak of a relationship that is seen by the angels as a divine relationship. It's like blessed by heaven. And this is a divine timing relationship. Essentially, got Otala. So that is ancestral inheritance. And in the context of relationship and love, then it's like, this is your divine relationship. This is your heaven on earth, and this is a grounding relationship. You get Arcana, which is like a seed that's been planted that can blossom and grow. It's like full potential. The seed has so much potential and so much life force. Ended up on the angel's feet. And we got Dagas here, which is, it's a breakthrough, a new day. It's happiness. Can speak of, again, it can speak of that angelic realm. So I read the runes in the context of, obviously, the cards that are laying here. And I post a video later at the Celtic Cross. I'm going to go through them like this. And I got the arrow. So if you are part of my bundle, you also get the arrows course, which is all about teaching card combinations. We got the cups with all the court cards with 2. But all these court cards speaks of very important people in your life at the moment. They are your soul family. This is the people that you care about deeply. And you're most likely also on a spiritual journey. And for a lot of people, when they go on the spiritual journey, and especially when they're fulfilling their divine purpose on this planet, and you might have taken a big risk even, and there could have been a big shift. This is in you position here, 8 of Cups. Often shows up when people are willing to take big risks because there's something that they deeply need to do to fulfill their soul. What happens then when they're manifesting love as well is that it's much easier than to manifest a divine partner. Your highest and best divine soulmate. And it shows up here in Page of Cups. Someone sensitive, someone who connects with you on an emotional level, and the relationship will feel new. Then in the outcome position, you get Page of Pentacles, and that connects with the Empress here, because that means that you most likely feel very attractive in this relationship. and it gives you confidence and it gives you strength. Continue basically doing what you're doing, because I feel like there is a strong heart connection with what you're doing at the moment, with everything you do. And with that heart connection, you can soften up people who are usually very hard. Because you get you get King of Wands here, which can be someone who's a bit, bit in their ego, kind of maybe not soften up very much. Maybe they're a bit sort of like hard-headed. But I feel like with your energy now, you can soften up hard-headed, stubborn people, and they start softening up around you. And that's also why I feel like Page of Cups here is in on this position. It's a very significant person here. This is a relationship that makes you feel beautiful and attractive. So if you are single, this means that on the current path that you're on now, this is a relationship that you're manifesting. If you are in a relationship, let's say you are in a relationship with someone who is a bit hard-headed, then they're saying not to worry about that, because in the relationship you are now, with your energy and the path that you're on, it will bring in a very healing effect on even those around you, especially in regards to a partner. So that can also mean then a renewal in relationship. And for those of you who wanted to have children, it can mean now is a great time to have children. Or if you have already got kids, it's a very good time now for your children as well. So it's like a strong focus on relationships, your most important relationships. So family could very much be in focus, but this loving relationship here, it has a ripple effect of a lot of other positive things that comes out of it. So other people will benefit because of the beautiful energy that this relationship is creating. So people could even just observe you guys and feel like they can believe in love again. Group 3. Here we get the Tower with the Empress. And we get the Star. So that means healing after turmoil. Okay? Healing after turmoil. So you got through something very challenging and now you're healing. Finding your feet again. Okay. So on the Tower card we got, again, Mana's reversed from the way I'm looking at it. Mana's reversed basically means it's man. So this is a man-made kind of situation. It's created by probably people who have had maybe not very much integrity. And at the kind of foundation here, it is Evas with Rider, which is a journey and most likely it could be either a long distance relationship or there was a lot of traveling involved in a relationship. And Berkano kind of sideways here, so it could be a relationship that maybe it ended before it got started, or something was not right with them. It wasn't allowed to really blossom. This as a situation can also speak of that the demands, so if it's in a relationship, it was the demands of the relationship was too high. If it is about a situation, the demands of the situation was too much, and therefore it just couldn't move forward. But as a ultimate situation, because you get some very powerful cards here, it was there to lift you up to your highest potential, and that's why the Empress and the Star are coming together here. But when you get sort of Judgment, that's your big shake-up, but it's a spiritual shake-up. But you got 3 of Wands, so that means you came through some high demands and maybe being put on the spot, feeling unprepared for what was to come, for what was happening. But you learned and you grew very fast. And you have a lot of faith. So you do trust. You get Ace of Swords here in the recent past. So this also has to do with truth and doing the right thing. And there are rewards and there are benefits coming for doing the right thing. So I feel like as a life situation for you, you are going to be very abundant, and that's also why you get Nine of Cups in your position and the Empress. But I feel like maybe there was someone not quite what they seemed, or a situation where people were unprepared. And perhaps that left you feeling a bit disappointed in the situation. The Hermit is the final outcome card, so that is kind of where you are heading, and that's why you got the Star as well. So the Star is all about your future. So if this is about relationships, so you have to then be a bit aware that you're not pushing people away, because I feel like this could also be about letting someone close or pushing someone away, not being ready for someone and pushing them away, not feeling comfortable in a close, deep relationship. So that is what you're healing from. But it's almost like you're more comfortable when you're on your own. It depends on what is the most important thing for you and what you truly want in your life. Because if you do want love and relationship, then maybe this is also a program that, and sometimes it happens on a subconscious level as well, that we push people away, or we attract in people that ends up pushing us away. And I think that you are creating a very abundant and positive environment for yourself. But I feel like there's been people pushed away here. And I feel like there could be people that you needed to push away. But I'm also feeling that you're doing it a little bit for your own, like you're safeguarding yourself. And you're kind of creating an environment where no one can hurt you. That's what I feel like, where you're completely safe from getting hurt. It could be that you have a strong fear of getting hurt. Actually, I feel like it is a deep fear of getting stuck, or a deep fear of getting committed into something that you don't want. So it's like kind of keeping people, I feel, a little bit at an arm's length way in many ways. And you're not always focusing on the people in your life for that reason. And perhaps there are people now that are kind of like saying this to you, like, and making you aware of it, or but I feel like you are a very unique individual who feel a strong need to have things a certain way. Actually, I feel like there is that quality of sometimes feeling like you almost belong on another planet, almost a little bit, and you're trying to create a situation here on this planet that is very much in tune with your inner self. And I think that there is a huge attraction here to almost like an alternative lifestyle of some kind. I feel like for group 3, I feel definitely you will create some kind of alternative lifestyle that will suit you really well, but other people might not be able to understand. But the people that are the most important, that do belong in your life, I feel like they will understand. Okay, now we got group 4. Got Strength and Hermit. So this is a strong personality in this group here. And you got Lovers. So it could be a union between 2 archetypes, Strength and Hermit. So let's cast the runes. Okay, so here I get Arcana, which is your potential. It's a seed that's been planted. When Chaos is reversed, and because also it is a Hermit, then it has something to do with learning. And Evas is your journey. So perhaps it is that you're looking. Sometimes what the Hermit does, it goes to places and creates situations for learning that could be to the hermit's detriment in some ways. But there is a strong need in the seeking out to learn, and often in very unorthodox ways. And we got Otala here reversed, and from my I see it. I'm looking at it from here, so from my perspective, it is reversed, even though you see it upright. When Otala is reversed, it can mean that also it is it could be a block to the past in some way. It could be even having being taught the wrong way almost, and maybe you are not trying to change that. But I think this new learning could possibly come from a relationship. Okay. So when you get neither ones, it's someone who often is on a spiritual path in some way, and it could mean that they're almost a bit fanatical about it, almost a little bit, especially because the devil card showed up here, and I think that's what this means here. Evas with Kenas reverse is like it could come through a person, or maybe you're learning from someone who is a bit radical almost in some ways, but it's like you're learning through opposites. It's like almost like someone is showing you a different world almost, and perhaps you're observing it, but this person I feel like is entering into your world more and more, and it's going to lead to a major shake-up in your life, and you as a result are growing and learning spiritually. But it is there could be some drama. There definitely could be a little bit of drama in this situation, because with the High Priestess it is often a drama. Drama could sometimes follow the High Priestess because she is a metaphysic, and she becomes the center of almost everyone's attention as well. But I feel like everything is kind of, it's about one person in particular that is taking up maybe all of your thoughts and times, and maybe it's a bit all-consuming as well. And I feel like you're going to learn from each other, but you are very different. But you are definitely learning from each other, and I feel like you are observing each other and learning from each other, because there's been perhaps in both of your pasts, there has been a bit of a one-sided perspective. So now you're gaining the perspective from what you would like to see something from a completely different point of view. This could be a romantic relationship, or could be sort of how it all began, because I do feel like it could be love here. We got the lovers here, and also got a lot of a lot of twos, and when there's a lot of twos, there's a strong focus on relationship, but there are no cups. So these are feelings that are not yet really developed, and perhaps the whole reason for this union is not even for there to be a relationship. It could actually be to teach you guys something about life that is incredibly important for your evolution to move forward. And it has to do with people, I feel, and other ways of life, what people are, even belief systems that you can find in groups of people, and also how easy it is to lose perspective once you start thinking and believing just in one particular way. So this, I feel like, ultimately will happen to broaden your horizon, because there's been a lot of confusion, I feel. And this will help you have an aha moment that will lead to you breaking free from some limitations in your own belief systems. But I feel like it has come up from how you grew up, and also kind of the environment that you lived in. And it will teach you also a lot about relationships as well, and what makes a a good and happy relationship. It's very important that you know that you're worthy and deserving of having a positive relationship, and to have loving relationships. So I feel like with the Strength card here, it's someone very loving and caring. The Hermit is sort of walking in here, so it's someone that you're attracting in, that looks at you as you are completely different from everybody else, and is very fascinated by you. But you have to also be aware that this is someone from, I feel like, from a very different walks of life than you. So you have to have some discernment as well. It's very there's a strong attraction, I feel, because you are so different. But you also need to don't give up, even though you are learning from this new situation and this new environment and this new person. It's also important that you keep your own self. So this will ultimately also teach you about keeping a strong sense of self as well. So guys, that was the pick a card reading for today. And if you haven't yet looked through the symbolism, now's a good time to go and do that. You learn a lot about the cards that way. Alright guys, thank you, and the next recording will be on Saturday. Bye!